Welcome to the law firm of Davis and Davis. We're not a real law firm. Go ahead, grab a beer, a glass of wine, sit back and listen. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Burke's still here. He's still awake.
You still with us?
Frickin' midnight.
Well, I'm pushing it at my place, but yeah, I'm an hour. What am I? 1 hour or 2 hours ahead of you?
No, you're 1 hour.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
It is 10:20 here right now.
Oh, 11:18 here, so or something like that. 11:19.
So we are going on to our last segment, ladies and gentlemen, and here is the title. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. There's another one. Soundbite. SpongeBob. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
The title is Vacation Activities I Wish to Do Before. Look at that. E4. I croak or can't move anymore.
I just have the top 10 things to do before you die, but we're on board. We're good.
How about I start this one? I had you start the last one, right?
Go for it. Go for it.
First.
Oh, wait. Do you have runners up?
I did have a runners up, and now I can't remember it. So no.
All right, I'll do a couple of my runners up here. Swim with dolphins, although you'll have to see my number 6 pick, which kind of ties in.
Okay.
See an active volcano. Spend the night in a treehouse in the tropics, which definitely ties into the last segment we just did. And float in the Dead Sea, which
okay. I do have some.
Cool.
I have 2. One was to go to Unalaska to take a hike up to the World War II. What were
the radar called? Installations or something, or
well, they were observation stations that were built onto the islands, and I've always wanted to take the hike up to one of the World War II observation centers.
Very cool.
Number 2 on my list is to go to Phuket to watch ping pong balls fly.
Do explain.
There's a red light district in Phuket. If you
don't. Say no more. I understand. Most of our audience will understand. Just cut it off right there and go on with the list. Stop. Don't. No.
I can't believe you made me.
No. Do you want me to start, or would you like to start?
Number 10 on my list
is sail. Nice.
Sail to Hawaii from the mainland.
Ah.
Now this is kind of a 2-parter. I did not add the second part to this because I think it's kind of obvious. I love sailing. I was in the Navy. I love the ocean. I love being on a boat. And one of the most important things in the world to me to do before I can't walk anymore is to sail a boat around the world. But in the number 1 thing about sailing that I wish to do is to sail from mainland US to Hawaii. This is a 30-day sail. It is a long sail. I don't know if I want to do it single-handed or not. I'm sure that after I've sailed for a little bit, I might want to try it single-handed. But it is a challenging sail because of the fact that you go through two different ecosystems, basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on where you start, but yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm saying start from like L.A., maybe even San Francisco.
Yeah.
But you think about it, you run into a lull in the wind halfway through this.
Yes.
You don't pick up the trade winds until you are close to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So you can sit there and bob in the middle of the ocean for 10 days.
Yeah, 20 days, whatever.
You know.
As a young boy, I had this book, and it was called I gotta find it here. The Boy Who Sailed Around the World Alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally about this kid who loved sailing, and he literally sailed around the world alone. Like when he got back to California, he had never had a driver's license in his life. And he was like 23 or 24 years old. He got married halfway around the world. It was an amazing book. But yeah, the doldrums going to Hawaii was one of the big sections of that book. Robin Lee Graham is the name of this kid. National Geographic did a whole series on this guy. But anyway, I digress. This is your spot.
Now, I read the same book.
Oh God, cool.
That is one of the things that got me into sailing. The second thing, most people don't know this. My grandfather on my dad's side was in the Navy. He was in the Navy. He was in the Navy twice. He was in the Navy during World War One, and he was in the Navy during World War Two. His time in World War One was literally 7 days, and then the war ended.
What kind of ship in World War One was he on?
Don't know. From the records that I got, he left port and literally came back 7 days later because he was discharged.
Oh wow.
My father had a lot of great stories about his dad, of which, after doing research, I found out that a lot of those were just stories.
But you know what? Good stories are just that. They're good stories.
You know, I got my father was a Canton Bulldog. No, he wasn't dead. Oh, my father sold. My father was big in the Navy during World War II, and he's going off about what his dad did. And I went and looked it up. He was a freaking storekeeper. And Dad turns around, and looks at me. He's like, "Yeah, but you know, he was important to people getting silk for parachutes." And I said, "No, he wasn't important for that. He stole that."
Shit.
Anyways,
yes,
I want to sail. I want to sail around the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, sir.
That was your top 10. So my number 10 is...
Oh, wait. I need to clear my screen. Hang on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. My number 10 is to tour the catacombs underneath France. Yeah. Did you think of that one or no?
I didn't think about that, but Paris was on my list. So I'm sure that is something that would have come up in my head.
Yeah. So the underground ossuaries of Paris, France holds the remains of 6 million people. 6 million.
Yeah.
That's more than Cleveland?
Dude, they filled it up during the plague.
Yeah. I mean, well, they ran out of room above ground, And at May 31st, 1780, the basement walls of a property adjoining a cemetery collapsed under the weight of the mass graves behind it. And at that point, all city limits burials were banned. So the catacombs are filled to the top, and they're massive. Human femurs, skulls, other bones, and they pile them up in these oddly ornate, neat designs and displays, narrated by poems and aphorisms about death. Yeah, leave it to the French to make it artful and philosophical, right?
You
So
know,
yeah, I would
there's
love to visit that place.
there's supposedly a hidden entrance into the catacombs from the Louvre.
There was a theater, like the police broke up this like entire theater where they were showing movies and shit with a bar and the whole 9 yards under it. So yeah, I would love to see that before I die.
I'm all about that. I will take you to Paris.
Cool.
My next is a cruise to Alaska.
Which
And
is damn close to the fjords, but yeah, heck yeah.
very close to the fjords.
Yes.
I
A
am
cruise around like some of the glaciers and stuff.
I am a freaking fiend for these cruise ships. I love
Yeah.
it. It is the best vacation that you will ever take. Anybody who's ex-Navy.
Pre or post COVID, yes.
I-
Right now, not so much.
You know, I'd even go now. I'm not afraid of COVID anymore. I've already had it. Hell, half the skin, all my skin's falling off.
Hey,
So
can you open your phone now with your thumb or no?
fuck no, dude. more skin's falling off like you wouldn't believe, and now it's
Oh my
falling off.
God.
Now it's falling off on my feet. I feel like a leper. Anyways,
Well, you know, nice
me-
fresh skin. That's not so horrible.
let me talk about this. Damn it.
All right.
Apparently, I was not talking into my microphone. Okay, so the picture that I'm showing Burke right now is a Disney cruise, which I do want to do a Disney cruise just because I am a huge freaking Walt Disney fan.
Yeah, and then that's just gotta just be so tight. I mean, that's
It's gotta
yeah.
be. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Now the thing about it is that the picture that I'm showing Burke, they are literally sailing away from the glacier right now. So you see bits of ice in the water. This is a fascinating thing to see, and to be in a boat where you can cruise right up to it.
Don't they like grab ice off of that and like use it in your drinks?
They do.
Yeah, that would
Not on this boat, but on other boats they do actually do that. It's an amazing thing to see, and I mean, I know that the glaciers will be around for another 100 years, but they are melting.
Ish. Yeah.
They are melting. This is something that I want to see before it's gone.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right, number 9.
Sure. No, number
right.
8. We're on.
No. I have not done number 9.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to castle hop and bar hop.
Do you have pictures?
No, I got no picture of any of this stuff. Castle hop and bar hop in Ireland. It is believed that Ireland is home to over 30,000 castles. 30,000 castles in that tiny little, dating back to the 11th century.
The Blarney Stone.
There can be only one.
Yes.
However, there are only 7,000 bars throughout Ireland. 75 breweries and 32 distilleries. Now, I have to really look at this one. Kilbeggan Distillery in County Westmeath is the oldest distillery in the world, dating back to 1757. And we're going to come back around to Guinness, which is in Ireland. An Irish dry stout that originated in the brewery of Arthur Guinness at St. James Gate in Dublin, Ireland in 1759.
Would that be considered a castle?
I would consider it a castle, absolutely.
I would I would consider
or
it
seventh
holy.
wonder of the world, whatever. It's Guinness. Can you imagine drinking Guinness from the source? Oh God, yeah, that would be good stuff right there. Okay, I am done with my number 9.
Scott's number 9.
Number 8.
Or I mean, Scott's number 8. Can you guess what this is?
Yeah, it's down on my list at the bottom, actually.
Seriously?
Oh, it's number 3.
Don't you mean up towards the top then?
Oh, yeah. It's yeah.
This
top
is
of the list.
This is Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge fascination of everything that's in the picture that I'm showing Burke, but I'm also a huge fan of beer. and the Oktoberfest
happens to have beer too. Wow.
But it also has carnival rides. So
oh
I'm
God,
excited.
there's so much. There's so much on Oktoberfest. I'll go. I only have about 3 or 4 sentences, but yeah, I would love nothing more than go to Oktoberfest.
My friend Scott Tillman lives in Germany. He married a woman from Germany. They came back to the U.S. After he got out of the service for a little bit, but he went back. She's a fabulous woman, but she couldn't handle American life. I don't know why.
I can't blame her, honestly.
So they live in Germany now, and I was talking to Scotty the one day, and I was like, I want to go to Munich's Oktoberfest, and he said, "There's Oktoberfest all over." I said, "Okay."
I want to go to the Oktoberfest.
He was like, "It's so commercialized. Why would you want?"
I don't care. I want to go to the Oktoberfest.
I said, "Scotty, that is what you hear from a person that lives there. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't live there. I want to come there once in my life and experience Oktoberfest. It's like what you hear from people that live in Las Vegas. Oh, I don't go down to the Strip.
Yeah.
Oh, why the fuck wouldn't I want to?
I can walk over to the Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame. You know how many times I've been inside? Zero.
Oh, really?
I've been on top of the building. I've never been inside the building. It's right there. I don't care.
I live less than freaking 2 miles from where John F. Kennedy died. Do you know how many times I've been there?
0.
No, I've actually been there like 3 times, but it's always been when somebody was coming and visiting. So, have I gone there on my off time?
No. You've never stood on the grassy knoll?
I have 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Every time, once when my mom and dad came, once when my brother came, and once when my friend Ed came. There you go. By the way, congratulations, Ed, on your victory at Daytona.
Yay.
I am so proud of your team, Venturini Motorsports. Mr. Haim, you did a freaking fabulous job on that race. My friend Ed is the truck driver for Venturini Motorsports,
Nice.
Got a great picture of him with the trophy. I am so proud of you, Ed. You did great. All right. Next up is Burke's number. What are we on?
8.
Okay.
I want to ride on the Orient Express.
Damn it!
Was it? I take it that was maybe one of your other picks.
It wasn't. It was one that I totally forgot about.
Oh, God, yeah.
But I want to do the original, Budapest to Paris.
Yeah, a long distance passenger train created in 1883 by Belgian company Compagnie Internationale de Wagons Lisse. Operated until 2009. God damn. The train traveled the length of continental Europe and into Western Asia, with terminal stations in London, Athens, Istanbul, and the Southeast. Since 2021, OBB Nightjet again runs 3 times per week on the Paris to Vienna route. Although not branded as the Orient Express, it is a private venture by Belmont, using the original CIW carriages from the 20s and 30s. So you can actually ride on the original train carriages from London to Venice and other destinations in Europe, including the original route from Paris to Istanbul, which was once Constantinople.
Thank you very much. Are you ready for this?
Do it.
Number 7. Oh, wait. Before we go, before I go to 7, I have to say this about the Orient Express. I am massive Agatha Christie fan. Poirot is my favorite. I have watched every episode of Poirot that has been on the BBC.
Oh, my.
Or he is my favorite sleuth out of them all. The Orient
I've read
Express,
one of his books, or one of the books about him.
The Orient Express is number 1 on my list. I did not remember it when I did my list. I would totally move my list to put that on as number 1. It's just a fascination that I have.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, once again, it's that whole period piece thing. Like I love period movies. I love theme parks that have, period. Well, yeah, I would. Yeah, it's totally on the list for me.
Now, like Burke said, the Orient Express still ran.
Yeah,
all the way up until 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And it ran under the name the Orient Express, but it had, now I don't know if it's
changed
running
names.
I don't know if it's running right now.
No, it is as of 2021. It is running. It's under a different name, but it is running.
Yeah, because it was the Simpleton before COVID, and now it's Night Train or whatever. Anyways, I would love to do that. Well worth it. Okay, now we're going to something that I know that Burke made mention of earlier when I was talking about a certain place in Germany. But the picture that I'm showing you is the Eagle's Nest.
Ooh.
This is Hitler's actual...
No, fuck, no way.
Yes.
Really?
This is his cabin where you see the pictures with what's her name?
Yeah,
Eva Braun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
When you see the pictures of Eva Braun, it was here at the Eagle's Nest.
Wow.
this is a bucket list for me. There is actually an elevator, the original elevator that Hitler used to go to the bottom of the mountain.
Oh, no shit.
Yes, it's lined with 24 karat gold.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Dude, who would not want to go here? This is in the hills above Berchtesgaden. And
That's a really kind of fucked up destination, but dude, I would totally do it too.
Hitler, okay, please don't get this wrong that I'm a fan of Hitler. It has nothing to do with that.
No, but I mean that's just
But
it's a piece of history.
Hitler
You can't ignore it. It is a piece of history.
Hitler said when he was sitting at the Eagle's Nest that it was the most beautiful view he had ever seen.
He was an artist. I mean, had he gotten recognition as an artist, he might not have taken over all of the world, but yeah.
It's okay. It's an absolutely fascinating place to go to. You take a bus up to the bottom of the hill from Berchtesgaden. You go through something like 4 old Nazi checkpoints.
Oh, Jesus.
To get up there. Now, they've torn down the checkpoints and all that, but you can still see them. And the bus driver explains this as you are heading up the road
Mm-hmm.
to go to this place. And there's a restaurant. They've turned it into a restaurant now. So,
Wow.
But the fireplace is still there.
Wow.
So there's actual pictures of Hitler standing in front of this fireplace. So
that's a little on the macabre side, but yeah. Yeah.
For me, with me being a World War II buff, this is very interesting to me. But as well, I think it should be interesting to the world because 3/4 of the items or the places or whatever that Hitler owned, they were destroyed.
Oh, god damn.
The bunker that he died in, which would have been absolute fabulous tourist attraction, was totally destroyed. His home was destroyed. Everything was destroyed because they didn't want to remember that.
Yeah, I get it.
So the Eagle's Nest is one of the last things that you can actually go to that's still there, that's still relevant. That,
wow.
You know what? It was taken away from a dictator and turned into a restaurant, and it makes money.
Wow. Alrighty.
Number 7.
7. My number 7 is I want to attend the Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
1875 was the very first race. 1925 was the first live radio broadcast. 1952 was the first televised race. And in 1954, the purse exceeded $100,000. I have no idea what that is in today's money, but that is a shit ton of money for 1954. Do you want to guess at the fastest time ever, or perhaps the horse that made the fastest time ever?
Absolutely not, because I don't even know what time is normal.
Secretariat at 1.59.4 minutes in 1973.
What?
1973 was the fastest time ever recorded at the Kentucky Derby.
How much how much drugs do you think was pumped into that horse?
I don't think they were testing back then, so who knows. And as a side note, I must drink a mint julep at that event.
Okay, why is that?
It's a Kentucky national drink for fuck's sake. It's mint and bourbon for fuck's sake. I have to have a mint julep at the Kentucky Derby. Come on.
Okay. Okay. I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm done.
Number 6, the National Museum of the United States Air Force, Dayton,
Dayton?
Ohio.
I've been there.
I was there when I think I was 6. I don't
I was
remember
probably
it.
5.
Don't remember it. There are now 5 hangars, I do believe.
I have Polaroid Instamatic photos of that place.
There is my favorite president of the United States was John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
He was a Democrat. He literally stopped the Russians from putting nuclear weapons right at
Cuba.
the base of our country.
Yep.
This was a president that was going to change the world. And the plane that he was flown back in is actually on display.
A DC 3, no, DC 10.
I think it was a DC 10. No, it wasn't a DC 10 because the DC 10 didn't the DC 10 have the third engine?
No, I think the DC 10 was the 4-engine. No, it was a jet.
The DC 10 had the third engine on the tail. The DC 9 had the twin engines on the fuselage. So it wasn't a DC 10. I'd have to look that up though. I do know that the DC 10 had 3 engines. It had because that was the plane that crashed, that made a big stink in, what was it, the 1980s, 1982, I think it was. Anyways, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Anyways, they have an entire section on the history of presidential transportation.
It has all the Air Force One planes. Oh God!
It has the Columbine that Roosevelt flew in. It has the plane from Kennedy. It has the transportation vehicles like the limousine, the presidential limousine.
There's one of those limousines up in Cleveland at the auto museum up in Cleveland, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that museum actually has one of the
Audubon Museum up in Cleveland.
Yeah, it has one of the
has one of John F. Kennedy's the open air one is the closed cabin one. I'm sorry.
It was the one that had the roof. Yeah. All right. So that was my number 6.
Woof. My number 6. I kind of referred back to this from one of my dive with dolphins. I want to dive the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. It is the largest coral reef in the world, although it is dying currently, so yes, I would like to see it soon. It is bigger than the Great Wall of China. It is the largest living visible thing from space. It is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. 1,500 species of fish, 17 species of sea snakes, saltwater crocs, dugongs, which are a very close relative of the big guys in Florida. The bourbon has soaked my brain and I have no brain cells left. Sea cows. What do they call the big sea cows in
Uh,
Florida?
the manatees.
Manatees. Yes, is relative to the manatee. The manatees have this big, wide, round tail. Dugongs have a tail. They have the body of a manatee, but the tail is very cut like a whale's tail. So they're very closely related. 6 species of sea turtles and 5,000 species of mollusks. And I understand that pretty much everything in Australia wants to kill you, but I would still love to dive off the Great Barrier Reef.
I was just about to ask you. You know that the world's largest population of sharks is right there by the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah, but not a lot of them want to kill you. I mean,
No,
like,
they all want to kill you.
well, everything in Australia wants to kill you, but they don't always. I mean, otherwise, nobody would live there. I mean, there's
Okay.
still people there.
I went. I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if you would remember this.
Hmm?
In 1988, I went to Australia.
What? Really?
Yeah, my father was working at South Pacific Tire, which is
Mm.
Dunlop Tire here in
You
America.
did tell this story at one point.
And I went to visit him. He had an apartment in Melbourne, Australia. I got to see the Essendon Bombers. Well, actually, his apartment was in Essendon. Got to see the Essendon Bombers play. I got to play lawn bowling.
Ooh.
My father had a cat that was the size of a frickin' German Shepherd. I'm serious. We've got a picture of this cat with a $50 in his hand, and his paw will cover it. So while I was there, I kind of learned that everything in that country is poisonous.
Yeah, well, or poisonous or venomous.
Now, it doesn't matter what it is. It could
Except for the one spider.
it could be food on your plate.
Now, okay, there's one spider in Australia. The thing is as big as a dinner plate. It's the huntsman spider. It's the only one that is not venomous or dangerous to humans.
No, but
But it's 6 inches across, for fuck's sake.
it can break your freaking leg with its paws.
But it loves to eat all the venomous shit and all the dangerous shit. It just looks like your worst nightmare come to life.
It was the only place in the world that I've gone to where a half an hour outside of the city, you were watching snakes that could kill you in 10 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, every single sea snake would kill you within 10 seconds or less.
You have 3/4 of the great white population there at the Great Barrier Reef. Guess what you have on the other side of that reef? You got crocodiles. You will die. You will die. All right, I'm done with my rant. You ready for do you need a break, or
are you on your number 5 or not?
I'm on my number 5.
All right, this is a great time for a break.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. You hear it. That means it's time for the break. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, even though YouTube doesn't believe me, I've actually paid for the rights for this fucking music. So suck my ass.
See you soon.
Holy shit, my bladder keeps getting smaller.
Every year.
God, I don't get it. All right, what are we up to here?
I believe we are up to our number 5 picks. I think you're next, but I'm not 100% sure. But go ahead.
I want to
Not
go
sure what
skiing.
that is. What?
I want to go skiing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Because you want to die?
I'm 53. I think I could make it through.
Okay. I mean, Sonny Bono was in 53 when he died, but whatever.
How old was he?
Ah, God damn it, you're going to make me look that shit up? I don't know.
Well, let's put in layman's terms here. Jackson Hole is a fabulous ski resort. It has you can rent a place that has a hot tub on the back.
Ooh.
And when you're
I'm sorry,
divorced,
he was age 62. So we got 10 years. We're good.
when you're divorced, you can take that hot 30-year-old girl with you,
Ah,
hang out in the hot tub, and go skiing during the day.
cool.
Come on. I used to love skiing when I lived in places where you could ski.
I've never tried it.
Uh, it's a fabulous sport. You would enjoy it, but probably the best part of going to an area that is a ski resort is the nightlife, is the fun after the fact. You go up there, you get beat up during the daytime, and then you drink your ass off all night long. So there you go. What do you have for number 5? Hello? You are muted.
I am muted. I'm sorry. I was eating peanuts. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on one moment, please.
Un momento, por favor.
Mucho gusto. All right. My number 5 is kind of half and half. I would like to see the Northern Lights / hot springs up in Iceland. So the Blue Lagoon up in Iceland is one of the most well-known hot springs up there. It's named one of the top 25 wonders of the world by National Geographic, and maybe one of the most well-known of the Iceland lagoons. The light blue, milky waters are a perfect 110 to 102 degrees Fahrenheit in temperature. Now, at that latitude, Iceland sits approximately 64 degrees north, making it one of the perfect spots to see the northern lights. It's very dark in the wintertime there, reaching up to 20 hours of darkness during and around the winter solstice. So, perfect time to see the northern lights. So, you could be sitting in a natural hot spring in midday in complete darkness and watch the northern lights. That is what I would like to do before I die.
I'm all over that.
A little bit of,
I could totally
decadence.
see that.
Yeah. Just sitting there in a hot tub, basically. Natural hot tub, watching the northern lights. Yeah, that's all good.
But you see, this is part of the thing, like with Jackson Hole. It's the same thing. It's a cold climate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could do that. All right. My number 4. Oh, I don't know if you're going to handle this. Can you guess what that is?
Is it a movie set?
Kind of.
All right, do explain.
This
Oh, wait. Let me guess.
Okay.
A firing range
Nope.
where you can. No? Oh, goddamn. Okay. Go ahead.
Think TV.
Okay. It does look like the California mountains where they film MASH and a bunch of other places.
Ding!
Ah!
It's actually on my bucket list. I want to hike to where they film MASH.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that would be awesome.
They have, well, the MASH units actually, or the MASH TV show,
Yes.
actually left a Jeep and they left an ambulance.
Oh, cool.
So what you see in this photo is the rusty picture of the ambulance, and the Jeep is this little bit down here at the bottom. The picnic tables that were left there are actually from the show, and that was in their dining hall.
Oh, cool.
So this is totally on my bucket list because it's one of the few places left that you can go to. Like where they did Hogan's Heroes,
it's gone.
It's gone. It's a development now.
Yeah,
There's houses there.
Gilligan's Island, gone.
Gone.
What else was filmed there? PT-50 or something like that. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all gone. They're all gone now. So I really want to go see where they film MASH. It's about a 1.5 mile hike out of the hills, or from the outskirts of town, up into the hills. I think MASH and Hogan's Heroes probably had the biggest hit on my mind growing up.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Cool. All right.
What about your 4?
My number 4 is I want, and maybe I can enhance on this. I want to stay at a really good hotel. I want to watch the Grand Prix in Monaco. I want to go all the way over there and watch the Grand Prix. It has been run since 1929. The Circuit de Monaco consists of city streets outside of Monaco and I can't even pronounce this one, Commandine, which includes the famous harbor. It is unique in having held the same circuit every time, has been run over such a long period. Films directly related to the Monaco Grand Prix: Murder and Mystery in 2018, Iron Man 2, Weekend of a Champion in 1971, which is a film about Jackie Stewart, who won the race that year, and Grand Prix in 1966, which Jackie Stewart actually took place in. That Grand Prix was in that movie. Jack Garner was the star of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I want to see the Monaco.
So the tunnel, over the tunnel, is a hotel.
Oh my.
Which has rooms that you can see the hairpin from. And it has rooms that you can see the chicane from.
Ooh.
Tough Absolutely choice. 100% with you on this one. I would totally go with you to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well worth every dollar that you would spend. I think my dream was to have a boat in the harbor for Monaco. But then I started looking up the fact that you're going to spend $10 million on a boat, and then you're going to spend about $4 million for a slip.
For a slip, yeah.
All right. Are we are you ready for number 3?
I'm ready for number 3. Are you ready for number 3?
I don't think you're Ray.
All right, bring it on, man.
Do not listen to what that says there as far as location, because if you look at the flag above it, you will know that that's
not
wrong.
That company. Okay, fair enough. Country.
What you are looking at is a festival that is held in Edinburgh,
Scotland.
Edinburgh, Scotland, every year. It is called the Tattoo Festival, and it is a military based festival that's done every year. If you get the time, people, go watch YouTube videos by a guy named Big Clive. Big Clive is a lighting technician from the Isle of Man. I think he's the Isle of Man.
He did all that?
No, he is. Well, he's one of the electricians that works on the show every year.
Okay.
He's a phenomenal guy. If you see my goatee, I'm kind of trying to emulate Big Clive. But that was how I got introduced to the Tattoo Festival, was Big Clive. He did these videos showing how he repairs moving lights. And I was like, okay, one day I was trying to figure out how to fix a Mac 600. And all of a sudden there's Big Clive. Oh, well, here's how you fix this.
Do.
And so I kept watching him after a while. He's like an electronics guru. But he works for a company called PRG, which anyone in our business knows that is probably the largest tech rental company that you can find. They're huge.
Got it.
The Tattoo Festival goes for a week. It is all outdoors, and almost the entire city partakes in some way, shape, or form. So it's but it's almost like the night at the Palms. That proms that happens in England. It's an expose, a military expose, but it's also about showing the culture of that area for that year.
Interesting.
So it's definitely something that I want to go to. Not to mention the fact that you're going through Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Do you know how many castles are around Edinburgh?
Ireland's got about 30,000. So yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah, there's a few. All right, sir. What do you got for 3?
We touched upon this earlier. I would love to go to Oktoberfest in Germany. It is a 16 to 18 day long event with around 6 million people annually attending the event. There is only, this seems like low, 1.7 million gallons of beer are served at this event. The event started around 1811 with horse races, and it evolved since then. Since 1950, it has opened at noon with a 12-gun salute, followed by the tapping of the first keg by the mayor of Munich, in which he gives the first glass to the president or minister of Bavaria. I want to go to the real Oktoberfest.
Sorry, I had my mic muted. They start to build the buildings 3 months in advance.
That's it?
Now, here's what here's what got me with this. Every year they just they don't destroy, but the infrastructure, the pipes, the water, all that stuff is
Mm-hmm.
torn up every year.
Oh, Jesus.
So they've got the houses already prefab. They're all numbered and all that stuff. But they have to go through and redo every bit of plumbing
Oh,
for
God.
each of those buildings. Then each building has to be inspected to make sure that they are within the codes. I watched a freaking video on the whole thing. This is why I'm so fascinated by Oktoberfest. It's not just the rides, it's not just everything that goes on. It's the fact that because of how the Germans are so stickler on rules and stuff, they have to redo everything every year. It's all new.
Oh, my God.
I know. But God, do I want to go? I just want to go to
know,
the
right?
Hofbrauhaus once. Let
I
me
want
go
to
to the
see some lady with
Hofbrauhaus.
like 28 beers in her hands. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I want to go to the Hofbrauhaus.
All right, man. You're up next.
Secondly, before we move off air,
Okay.
they have this thing, and I can't for the life of me remember what they called it. It was like the witch's wheel or something like that. But it's a disc. It's a cone-shaped disc. And when I say cone, it's only about 6 inches taller in the center than it is off to the sides. And all these people pile onto this disc. It starts to spin and throws people off. The last person on wins something.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Drunk people on a spinning disc. This sounds like my high school year at Jogga Lake.
I'm
Yeah.
all about this. I remember when I drank a 6-pack and went on the rotor.
Oh, God.
All right, Scott's number 2. I don't even know if you're going to agree with me on this or think I'm absolutely nuts, but you talked about the Northern Lights.
Absolutely.
This that I am showing you right now is basically called Santa's Village in Finland.
Yeah.
It is north of the North Pole designation.
Or the not the North.
No,
shit.
it's north of the North Pole designation.
Okay.
What they consider this to be North Pole in Finland. So, my wife has been here.
Really?
Yes, she is. My wife's Finnish, and the second year that we were married, she actually took a trip to Finland. She actually asked me if I wanted to go, and I was such a dickhead at that point in time.
You're a dumbass for not going.
No, I don't want to go to Finland. Why do I want to go to Finland? There's a bunch of fucking Russians there. She is a friend of Putin's, so y'all know. Not gonna tell you which Putin I'm talking about, but anyways, this is it's called Santa's Village, and attached to Santa's Village, they actually have a reindeer farm and all kinds of stuff. My mother-in-law got me a knife from here.
Ooh.
That was homemade, handmade, and it's engraved with my name on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a fascinating place, and I have always wanted to go here. And I can't believe with where I wanted to go on my vacation list being all freaking warm places, everything else has been cold. Anyways. So yes, this is in the Lapland of Finland. Next up for you, buddy.
Number
Number two.
two. You're gonna dig this one. I want to drive the entire route 66.
Can we do it in a motorhome?
Or a convertible.
I could see doing it in a convertible, but if we did it in a motorhome, we'd have a place to sleep.
Yes.
Although, I don't know if you watch okay, what the frick is his name? The Nomadic Fanatic. That was it.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen him.
Nomadic Fanatic actually stopped at the Teepee Motel on Route 66.
Here, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share a screen with you real quick.
Let me clear this out. Go ahead.
There's a couple pictures for you.
Let's see. Watch Grand Prix. Hang on, I gotta move you up. You've got the.
Oh yeah, I have the teepees.
Okay, that's freaking classic. Now, you see these gas stations here?
Oh yeah.
I, Scott Davis, am literally an hour away from Route 66.
Oh Jesus.
And one of those gas stations was turned into the Route 66 Museum.
Ooh.
In Oklahoma.
Nice.
So if you ever come to Texas, I will take you up to the Route 66 Museum, which is incredibly awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is a road trip that I could get into. But then again, I also said that one of my bucket list things that is not on my bucket list here, and I don't know why I forgot this, but it was to recreate the Gumball Rally.
Yeah, yeah.
Cannonball Run.
So Route 66, originally established November 11th, 1926. Originally ran from Chicago, Illinois to Santa Monica, California. 2,448 miles long. It passes through California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Illinois. You drop in the Magnolia gas station, the teepee-shaped hotels, all of them huge influences on the Pixar film Cars. If you've ever seen that film, it's great because they took those original structures and just basically recreated them in VR or whatever, in CG, and put them into that cartoon, which was awesome.
The Cone Hotels.
The teepees, yeah.
The road cone motels in Pixar. Man, just a huge piece
of Americana.
Of Americana history that I would love. I would love
hell yeah.
to recreate that. All right, I guess we're up to my number one.
You're oh, okay. I am definitely curious about this one. What's your number one pick?
My number one pick is to tour all of the Christmas markets in Germany over that season. The one that I'm showing you right now is actually from Heidelberg, I think it is. Hamburg. No, Heidelberg. Heidelberg.
You're not showing me anything, but okay.
Oh, shit.
Click the button, Scott. Click it. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay, so Uh, I don't talk religion. I don't talk politics on the show, but I'll talk religion here for a second.
Okay.
I am Catholic. I was raised Catholic. Um, to me, Christmas is a very important time of the year. Uh, and after I started, okay, I throughout my life I didn't learn about my heritage really until I became older, and uh, I knew my grandfather was from Poland. I knew that his mother only spoke Polish.
Oh, wow.
Uh, uh, my grandmother's side of the family was very convoluted and didn't know a lot about it. And as I grew up, I found out that it was because they were German
Mhm.
and they didn't talk about stuff like that. Like great grandpa Raleigh um, was a train conductor for the Pennsylvania Railroad,
Oh, wow.
but he was also a train conductor for the Nazis.
Oh,
So,
yeah, well, okay.
so, so there's stuff that you just don't talk about.
Yeah, we
you
don't talk
know?
about that stuff, yeah.
So as I grew up and as I started connecting the dots and all that, it became I don't know, it became important to me to learn about the past. And part of the past with the German side is the Christmas markets and a a how would you say easier way of life. Um,
Simpler.
basing okay, so you base your life off of your religion. Uh, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. It made sense why Grandma and Grandpa were really big on being Catholic, on being baptized, on living by the church and stuff like that. And it's not that I sit back and go, oh, everybody should live by the damn church and all that. Um, but there is something to the old world, and I am starting as I'm getting older to see that there was something to that. And
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I do enjoy the old style stuff. There the mulled wine,
Yeah.
glue wine, um, the handcrafted items that were sold at the Christmas markets, the roasted chestnuts, all of this stuff. I mean, I didn't realize how Christmas was actually formed until I started reading about this. We all heard about chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Never had them. I suppose they're good. I've never had them.
So, like I said, being a history buff, I am interested in seeing this old world stuff. So I would like to 1 year from November, from Thanksgiving until Christmas, go and tour all of the Christmas markets in Germany.
Wow.
So there you go. I do believe we are up to Burke's #1, which is scary for me.
It is the polar opposite of yours.
Uh-oh.
And quite simple.
Hmm.
I want to fly in a jet fighter.
Really?
All over the world, you can find jet rides in L-39 Albatross, T-33 T-Birds, F-16s, or even a MiG-29.
Oh shit! You can find a T-38 trainer right now.
Yeah, yeah. I want to fly in a actual jet fighter, even a trainer. I want to I want him to pull so many G's that I pass out. I wouldn't even mind throwing up. I don't care. I I want to experience Top Gun personally. I want to fly in a jet fighter. I don't know what I can say. I want to fly in a jet plane.
I have I've never flown in a jet fighter. I have flown in helicopters.
Mhm.
Uh, when I was in the Navy, our unit had MH-53 helicopters,
Mhm.
MH and CH-53s. Um, they called them sky pigs. It was a it was a high I don't think I've ever been able to recreate. Um, but a jet fighter, never
Yeah.
never rode in. I could totally I could totally do it. I would
I've I've
totally
I've
want to.
I've I've been in, commercial jet planes. Great. My brother-in-law, when I first was dating my wife, her brother was flying little Cessna 132s or one whatever, for jump planes.
Sure.
You fly them up, and people jump out. They do their parachutes, and I was I was down in Canton. I wasn't even living in Canton at the time. I was down in Canton and kind of knew the general area that the airfield was in. I drove out and I saw, like, these three little dots in the air. I'm like, the fuck is that? I was like, oh, those are people jumping out of the plane. I kind of followed them down. These back winding roads off of Route 62, down, not halfway to Alliance and everything. Found this little airfield, and it was a field. It was just a grass field, and Mike was landing his plane and everything, and these guys were coming down, just whooping and hollering. So I got to go up in his plane. They paid like $25 when Carl and Jenny did a
Oh
tandem
God.
jump. So I'm up with Mike in the plane. They jump out. We're in the plane, and Mike's like, "Yeah, hold on, let me show you something." He banks this thing bigger than a 45-degree bank and spirals down. We're pulling a couple G's and everything. It was just a lot of fun. It was like, a jet fighter would be 10 times that awesome. Yeah, I like flying. I've never been scared of it. I enjoy it. Like, would I pass out? Yeah, probably. Would I throw up? Yeah, probably. Would I do it? Absolutely.
100%.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'd be all over that, dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that is my number one.
what can I say? What can I say? What can I say? Wow, that was like 4 hours.
Or more.
It was like 4.5 hours of recording, over 5 hours of us being together,
Dumbasses and swearing and
to,
drinking.
together. Uh,
Apart yet together.
I actually have some friends at one of the flight museums down here. I'm going to call him now.
Oh God.
Um, well, one of the flight museums down here by me, that I have a friend at, one of the rules to have a plane there is that it's either being worked on to be restored or it's flyable.
All right.
So I'm going to give him a call and see if he's got any trainers that are they rent time out.
Oh yeah.
So they have this Texan there. that I know that but that's not a jet. So I got to find you a jet now. But they have old A5 trainer.
Ooh.
A5?
Yeah, those are cool planes.
F5 trainer. F5? Which
A5s, probably older ones. Those are the dual
one?
cockpits.
It might be the A5. Is that let's see here. Let's see what the A5 looks like and I'll tell you if that's correct.
Got the big bulbous canopy on there.
Well, the thing about the A5 is that was it the A5 or was it the F5?
A5 Vigilante. It's a good looking plane.
And was that it? That was not it, my friend. And it's not the F5.
The F5 was one of the planes that they used in Top Gun as the Russian jets, if I'm seeing that correctly.
Go. There we go. Look up A4 Skyhawk.
A4 Skyhawk. Oh, yeah.
Now, my friend that works at this museum, the only reason that him and I got into contact with each other was because when I was in the Navy, the A4 Skyhawk was the first plane that I worked on. It is a tiny little plane, but it is quick as shit.
Oh, yeah. More engine than fuselage on that one.
More engine than fuselage. This used to be the plane that the Blue Angels used for their shows. As a matter of fact, I have a picture of the A4s staged in the stadium, Cleveland Municipal Stadium.
Ooh.
For an air show where they were being used over at the airport next door.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a great freaking plane. But they have a trainer version. And he called me up because I used to be an airframer on the A4s. Well, hydraulics man. But if you know anything about hydraulics and airplanes in the Navy, that means that you pretty much fixed everything but the engine. There you go. I'll give him a call. I'll see what I can do for you.
There you go.
It might cost you $100
or more, and I'm okay with that.
But just to see you throw up on a camera is totally worth it to me.
Yeah, it's worth a couple $100 right there.
That is worth the money, guys. All right, like I said, we went for almost 5 hours.
Oh, this is a marathon one.
Well, I wanted to get 3 shows out of this so that we could get onto track so that when we do the movie reviews,
yes,
they're up to par. But this also means that next week's show is going to be a little bit light, or can be, because we have an extra show ahead of us.
Well, yeah, I have watched the first movie, which I think is the first movie.
Well, you can let the audience know what we're watching.
It should be, according to Scott, Murder by Death.
Uh-huh.
I have only watched the first minute of Lone Wolf McQuade, so I need to catch up on that one.
Okay, so
never seen it before in my life. It's going to be a new experience.
Here is the thing with Scott. Murder by Death, I picked for us to watch because it's a movie that both Burke and myself like. Both Burke and myself know it frontwards, backwards, left and right. It's a great flick.
Yep.
Lone Wolf McQuade. I may actually get a soundbite from my mother to explain how much she hates this movie. Because we had just bought a VCR when Lone Wolf McQuade came out.
And you monopolized the television?
I taped it on HBO with no commercials. And I wore that tape out. My mother will tell you, I came home every day from school and put Lone Wolf McQuade in. Now, guys, this is not the best movie. This is, it's, I mean, the quality of this movie is not the best. But I will tell you right now, this is Scott's all-time 100% favorite movie that's not a Harry Potter flick.
No, wow.
Sorry, that's not a Harry Potter flick or Star Wars flick.
Nah.
Yeah, you can. You're a Star Trek guy, right?
I like them all. I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Dune, Harry Potter. I'm a geek for all of it.
Are you Star Trek or Star Wars?
Yes.
Okay. Because
they
you called me,
both have their places in the world.
You called me a geek earlier for certain things.
No, do you know? Like, I used to watch that show when Baker was on. For fuck's sake, the long knit scarf, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, what Baker?
Yeah, Baker, the guy who, well, he wasn't the original Doctor Who, but he was like 70s version.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
So
they introduced K9, I think, in his series, if I'm not mistaken.
I do believe you are absolutely correct on that. But to digress, you picked on me for it.
For having it on your phone.
Why is that a problem?
Yeah, well, I don't think any occupational hypnotherapist is going to help you solve any of your problems. Okay? Hey, and speaking of problems, what's this I hear about you having problems with your TPS reports?
Yeah. Didn't you get that memo?
But then they switched from the swing line to the Boston stapler, but I kept my swing line stapler because it didn't bind up as much, and I kept the staples for the swing line stapler.
Okay, Milton.
And oh no, it's not okay, because if they take my stapler, then I'll set the building on fire.
PC load letter? What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that had to do with Star Wars, but it just
it sounded right. It sounded good.
It sounded fabulous to me. On that note, people, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. Hey, by the way, did you know that your show got monetized?
You mentioned something to that effect.
So on Red Circle, to get monetized, you have to have over 500 downloads a week.
And how many do we have?
710.
Fuck. Why?
Now,
again, once again, I asked two questions. I asked one question. Why do we have that many? And the second thing is, thank you all. Judas Priest, thank you, everyone.
Now, to answer the first part of your question, I do believe it has to do with intravenous drugs. But to answer the second part of that question, I really don't know. All I know, okay.
We're not looking the gift horse in the mouth. Thank you very much for your support, everyone.
I have started 7 podcasts, and 6 of those podcasts have been going for a year and have 110 downloads
per week.
per week. We have 710 per week. And this
Damn.
show's only been going since October 26th. I, with Burke, thank you guys. And I'm glad that you guys find us funny.
Enjoyable, time killer, informative, whatever. We love you all.
I have always said that it's because you can't see us naked.
And thank God for that.
God. Remember to go to our website. If you want to get to our website, it's too fucking long to write. So go to Facebook and look up Davis and Davis Show.
Lots of cool stuff. It looks pretty now.
It looks pretty. We can only edit it twice a day now because
It crashes.
we keep crashing the bandwidth. I don't know how that works, but okay. So next week, well, the next two shows after this,
or three. This
have,
might be a 3-show episode. Who knows?
or whatever. So you guys have movie reviews coming up, but after the movie reviews, it is going to be there's a contest coming, people.
Oh, Judas Priest. Now what? You always spring this shit on me at the last second. What are we doing?
You probably got 3 weeks before we got to do this.
Yeah, whatever. Go ahead and tell us what's going on.
We have a contest coming up, ladies and gentlemen. You got to make the choice on whether you are going to take Burke or Scott in the competition. But the competition is 50 trivia questions written by the other person.
Wow. About what?
Anything.
Ugh.
Actually, I'm gonna lie. I'm lying about that, guys. So it is going to be 50 trivia questions. 10 of them will be about television. 10 are about movies. 10 are about Ohio. 10 are about the University of Akron. And the final 10 can be any questions you want.
Oh my God.
Now this opens us up, man. We're gonna figure out who is the smartest guy. Now I came up with this idea just about
10 minutes ago?
no, it was about 30 minutes ago when you looked at me and said that I'm smarter than you. And I went, that was a bad decision, dude.
Gauntlet is laid down.
So now he's got to come up with 50 trivia questions to stump me with. And I am going to come up with my 50 trivia questions to stump him with. Now, we did a show kind of like this, but we had to dump it because of content. So,
yeah.
So I want to make sure that our questions are not
Sexually explicit, derogatory, or I'm not quite sure what else.
No, I was just gonna say, man, they better be questions that we can't answer. But
Yeah,
go
okay,
ahead.
fair enough.
Well, we've kind of nailed down the gauntlet here because we made categories this time.
Fair enough.
So you really only have 10 questions to worry about.
Each.
10. I won't smack you, man. I won't smack you. The problem is that I've been a good boy most of my life.
Yeah, right.
On behalf of Burke, myself, his 2 daughters, my 10 cats, we're saying goodnight.
Y'all have a great night, and we will talk to you soon.